You're listening to 107.9 FM The Berg. This is Fitness Friday. I'm your host, Meg Boschin. If you're a regular to the show, you know I talk a lot about the 4 pillars of fitness: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Today's show will focus on the spiritual pillar. I want to share something with you that I have contemplated for years, but it didn't hit home until I had my own children. And it's a quote I heard from one of my uncles many years ago, and it went like this: if you're going to worry, don't pray. And if you're going to pray, don't worry. I'm going to repeat that for you guys. If you're going to worry, don't pray. If you're going to pray, don't worry. I've contemplated this for years, like I said. You see, I come from a long line of alcoholics, and it turns out that's a good thing. You see, alcoholics who go through AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, consequently develop a rock-solid spiritual practice, which aids the recovery and sets them up for success in life after addiction. The 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous are applicable across the board of addictions that afflict the human race, which can be equally powerful for overthinkers as much as overdrinkers. Addictions can exist across all 4 pillars of our being. The 12 steps are spiritually inclined and can actually be applied and benefit anyone's life, addict or otherwise. I myself, not an alcoholic, like to refer back to them from time to time. My father is a recovered alcoholic, so the 12 steps is one of the things that sparked my own interest in spirituality at a very young age. And I'm telling you this because we talk about the spiritual aspect of our being a lot on this show. And if you're struggling to find spiritual resources for this, you can look no further than AA's 12 steps to develop a rock-solid spiritual foundation. And they can be found with a simple Google search of the 12 steps. In fact, I may even do a show on them one day in the future. They're very powerful. And remember, you can always reach out to me personally if you have questions or are looking for resources on anything related to these shows on Instagram at Ayama Club and at Meg Boschin Yoga, or visit me at Ayama Club, now open 7 days a week. Our classes are steeped in the ancient and spiritual practices of yoga alongside modern-day science-backed physical practices like Ayama. All right, back to the show here. And if you haven't guessed it yet, today's show is all about worry. Oh my goodness. Before we start, I'm going to ask all the parents listening to do something. Okay, will all the parents listening please raise your hand if you worry about your children? Yes. Raise your hand if you worry about your children. And now I'm going to bet $1 million that 99.99999% of you raised your hand. I didn't say 100 because there's always a few of us in denial out there. The truth is we all worry about our children, along with a million other things on the daily. But children is universal and most impactful due to the nature of the parent-child or grandparent-grandchild relationship. I mean, you get it. They mean a lot to us, and our biggest fear is that any harm ever comes to them. This is stressful. I witness parents all the time crippled by this fear. But what if I told you that by worrying about our children, we're actually harming them? Well, many of us don't realize how this universe works. Everything originates in our own magnificent, powerful mind with our very own thoughts, which we then project out onto the world, which then reflects back to us as a picture we can see. This is our picture of the world. And in spirituality, this is called projection. If we worry all the time, the world will reflect back a lot of reasons to be worried. And this is science-backed. I promise I'm not making this up. It is proven also that if we pray by thanking God or the universe, the source, or however you refer to the unseen power within us and all around us, it will reflect back a lot of reasons to be grateful. So let's put it to work. Here's an example I'm working through right now. So my daughter just got her driver's license. Okay, well, she failed the first time, and I was glad. Because as a new driver, she still had a lot to learn. And I had a lot of things to worry about. Other drivers, the weather, distractions, the phone, and just general lack of experience. That being said, I know through life experience that there is an unseen power within me and all around me that responds to my thoughts and that I can tap into. So I checked in. Am I worrying or am I praying? Okay, it seems I'm worrying, and that worry is valid, but it's also optional. So here's my options. Do I want the world to show me more reasons to worry or more reasons to be grateful? It is widely known across the spiritually inclined that the universe, God or source, speaks in the affirmative or positive. In other words, the universe says yes to everything. Always remember this. In fact, I'll give you a minute here. You can write it down in your phone notes or grab a piece of paper and jot it down. Okay, the universe says yes to everything. All right, here's an example. So my excuse for worrying. I'm worried because my daughter is a new driver and she's not experienced enough to handle dangerous situations behind the wheel of a car. She could get really hurt or hurt someone else. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm stressing. The universe says yes. Now, let's try this. My daughter is brilliant and equipped to handle anything that comes at her while she's driving. It can be as simple as she is always safe and protected. The universe says yes. So let's check in. If the universe said yes to both of these, which one would you choose? Well, the answer is simple. The second one. It's plain and simple. We are all always safe and protected. I declare it, and so it is. And now you can declare it over yourself and your family anytime worry tempts you. Don't be fooled by your runaway thoughts and worries. Don't justify them. Simply correct them. Apply this to any worry that pops up or long-held worries that plague you, like the kids. This applies to everyone, especially athletes who are under extreme pressure and worry. Think about that. There aren't many who don't thank God in their victory speech. Let's make prayer a part of our everyday life. Let go of some of that stress, some of that worry. Remember, we are 4-part beings: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. The spiritual aspect of your being is in you, all around you, and more powerful than you know. You're listening to Fitness Friday on 107.9 FM The Berg with me, your host, Meg Boschin. On today's show, we talked about how to go from a worrier to a warrior in your life. You have a superpower. Find out how to use it. If you missed this show, tune in at 4:30 today for the replay. You can also listen to the show and other past shows anytime at ckbg.ca. Just click on audio recordings in the sidebar and then Fitness Friday. Until next week, I expect miracles.